Hey everybody, I'm Chris,
And I'm Adam.
and this is the Gamers Hall.
And today we're going to be talking about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. But specifically, we're going to be talking about a specific subclass. And we want to talk about a few things that we find good about them, probably some things we find bad about it. And then we're going to talk about the roleplay value in those and what you can do in order to spice up the subclass a little bit or just add extra things to a campaign that a DM can use to create maybe a driving force for the campaign or add additional content. You know, give these
Yeah, or
characters flavor.
maybe the specific area that you're going to, how's the subclass fit into this area that your players are about to adventure into.
Yeah. And we want to touch on a couple of ways that maybe this subclass can fit into different worlds, different campaign settings, because some of these are pretty spot on what campaign setting they fit in.
Yeah.
Some of them are not.
So now we're going to talk about a subclass that I like a lot, but Adam here he doesn't really like it that much. It didn't hit well for him,
No.
and it's the Path of the Wild Magic Barbarian. So let's just start off with you with the bad. How did this class not stand out for you? What is it just not doing for you that you wouldn't want to play it?
I don't really like the random aspect. I know that's what the class is supposed to be.
And I love the random aspect of
To me, it just doesn't feel right. I can't put my finger on exactly why it is, because I guess it's such a crazy idea. It's so wild and crazy. They're wild and crazy guys. But to me, it just doesn't feel. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Like it's definitely got the magical effects from your rage. I mean, you can pick those up.
Yeah, there's some stuff that doesn't require the rage.
Yeah, but I'm also one person caveat. I don't like the wild magic sorcerer. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't stand that one. It to me, like, it has a cool idea, but it
It really sucks when you're second level and you fireball the party.
Yeah, like
I think that's why they toned this one down.
Yeah.
So there's not as many detriments, because they didn't want anything out there that could, kill the party at first, second, or third level.
I mean, I do like the 6th level ability bolstering magic. The fact that you can give back your party members
Spell slots,
or just boost them up by a D3, like that makes a fighter or a barbarian or a monk have an extra D3 to hit with all their attacks is a significant amount.
Oh yeah, it's like saying, here's a +1 to +3 weapon for all your hits.
I mean, that's really cool. At the same time, like, why? Like, did you harness all the magical random energy around you and you become like the conduit to it? Like, that's where I feel like this class has a weird feel to it. Is like, what are you?
Okay,
like,
so
can you describe to me what this?
So
makes
for you, it's the fact that it's a lot harder to explain.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like you probably have come up with some better ideas of how to explain this to make it maybe more palpable to me.
Yeah. Okay. So the good. What I love about this this subclass is that, like, I like the random table. Now, one thing I do wish, though, I wish that the random table maybe had been a D10 or maybe a D12, and they had thrown in some bad ones, because I liked how the wild magic sorcerer had some bad ones, but don't make it like to where it's like completely bad. But like, I don't know, I just like having, I don't like how everything is good. I like it if there was a few bad ones thrown in there.
Like, maybe you gain double speed, but you gain a level of exhaustion when the level of rage ends.
Yeah, or maybe if it was like, hey, you get a +5 to damage, but you're blind.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'd be totally cool with it. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the wild magic. Like, whoops.
Hey, take the blind fighting feat. You'll be just fine.
Exactly. But that narrows your attack radius down.
Yeah.
Too. So like, it's still compromises, works out, it balances out. But like, I mean, I would be also okay with something like, oh hey, every weapon you have you can has the light throne property, but instead of 20 60 feet, it was 60 feet, and the detriment was you can't move. So you're that barbarian that's just constantly throwing stuff, and your weapons are coming back to you. But the detriment is you can't move, so you're a sitting target. Like I'd be okay with stuff like that. Like I wish there was some detriment into it, but like that. That's just my one gripe about the wild magic. But everything else I love. I love the fact that they have that, what's that, their ability called
Sense.
Magic Awareness. And it's
pretty
people say
cool.
it's like detect magic, but no, it's better. Because detect magic, you can only detect stuff you can see. If something's invisible, well, now you know where it's at. You have to, I mean, granted, you're having to waste a turn, but you waste a turn saying, I have magical awareness. At the end of your, at the end of your next turn, it goes away. So the next turn, that wizard or sorcerer or warlock that has greater invisibility or just invisibility on, or the rogue, you know where they're at, and now you can go mess them up.
Tackle them.
Yeah. And like that's fantastic to me. Like you know where they are. I still have disadvantage to hit you, but whatever. I can
know where you're at.
Yeah.
And I can just reckless attack, and now I just hit it normal, and I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, exactly. And like I love that. I love that aspect of it, and I feel like that's a very underrated ability that some people are just like, oh, it's just to detect magic. No, man, it's better. There's more practicality to this than people are looking at. And then, giving people spell slots back.
It's really good.
Yeah, not to mention,
really good.
What if you multi-class into something, and now you can give yourself, points back, or give yourself spell slots back, because maybe you're that barbarian warlock or barbarian sorcerer, and so now it's like, hey, you know what? I think I do want an extra shield today.
Yeah, I mean,
or got my fireball or lightning bolt back.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting play on that. I actually think I've had an NPC would have used this.
Yeah, or like, hey, I need healing right now. You got me right, cleric?
Yeah. Yeah, let me channel some of my energy into you.
But see, for me, I feel like the way, like, okay, so the thing you didn't like about it was a little hard to explain. Like, this is a very weird concept, but for me, it's okay. Well, how did you become a wild magic barbarian? Were you touched by the Fae, and somehow were you born on a special day? Did a lightning bolt hit you? Or were you kind of god touched, but it was it was like a god, one of the gods was playing a trick on you, and it's like
Loki.
Yeah, it's like, you know what?
Actually, what? You know what?
I just want you to be chaotic. Go mess up the world and just do random acts of stuff.
That would be funny in a Norse-style campaign that you are Loki-touched.
Yeah.
And that could even be a whole sect of barbarians that have become Loki-touched, and they have uncontrollable magic that they can't deal with.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe you were, like, as a child, you were playing around in the forest, and there was a portal to the Feywild, and you stuck your hand in it, and but because you didn't go all the way through, when you brought it back, that messed with you, and that a little bit of that magic essence flowed into you, and that's why you have wild magic and these crazy tendencies whenever you get angry.
And I can kind of see that. Maybe also we're going with the plane. You touched the plane of Pandemonium? No, not Pandemonium. The Swirling Chaos. I can only think of the name for it in Eberron right now. Kithri. Basically, where the Slod come from.
Okay.
The where everything keeps jumbling together and smashing. And remaking itself, and that's where the Githzerai are at. They use their mind to force control. Well, maybe your wild magic comes from the fact you got touched by one of those, or you got implemented by a Slod.
Yeah.
And now the Slod's random energy, instead of you becoming or not implemented, but implanted by a Slod, instead of you turning into a Slod, it's actually giving you weird magical abilities.
kind of like the Baldur's Gate 3 thing. You have a creature in your body, and that creature's what's granting this to you.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Or maybe you're the failed experiment of some wizard or sorcerer.
a failed experiment on Ravnica of the Izzet Guild, where you've been magically experimented on, so they can figure out some crazy way of giving people powers that they shouldn't have, and you could been a goblin that was like, "I'll do it, hit me with random stuff, I'll have fun." I could see that.
Oh,
kind of interesting.
I'll tell you right now, like the moment I saw this class, I immediately said, you know what? I want to be a halfling wild magic barbarian who swings around a great axe. Yeah, it's a disadvantage, but guess what? If I roll a 4 on that wild magic table, it's light and thrown. I can one-hand this great axe around as a halfling, messing people up.
That would be funny to see.
Granted, there's a 1 in 8 chance I'm going to get that, but it's going to be worth it when I do.
I think there should be some way that, you get controlled surge later on. Whenever you roll, you get to roll 2. And then if you pick, you get to... I think there should be more of that a little earlier on, where you have the ability to control a little bit of this.
I like the wild aspect. I like how you have to really earn and achieve to be able to control.
I feel like it'd have been better flipped at the 10th level ability. Instead of unstable backlash, you get the controlled surge. I don't feel like that would have been too good.
I can agree with that.
Flip those two, because the unstable backlash can become really detrimental real quick, but can do some huge effects.
Yeah.
And I feel like those two would have been better switched. But the it's not really huge detrimental, but depending on how you want to say wild magic, because you can also go, maybe the other wild magic table from the PHB goes off. You take damage when somebody hits you, and you're like, oh, this wild magic happens.
You know what I think would have been cool, though? I think it would have been pretty cool, or if maybe at 6th level, what if they gave you another option that said, okay, you can give up one of your hit dice. So instead of you using it on a short rest, you give up a hit die and you can re-roll on the surge table.
Yeah. Actually, I think Wizards should give more options that you can spin your hit dice as some type of power currency, effectively. I think that would actually been really good, because then that would give you you're forcefully using your body to control this magic field, instead of it just being, well, whatever happens. Like, no, I am actively...
Yeah, you are pulling in the depths of your body to try and reenact something. You might not get what you want, but at least you tried.
Right. That might take away from the initial feel of this class.
I don't think that would. Or let's say
it's still good. I think.
Or going with the flow that Wizards has created already, you could just say at 6th level you can do that a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per day. So if you got something you didn't like, okay, I've got 3 or 4 chances where I can change this up during a battle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if you've completely changed my mind on how much I like this, but you know what? I'm not opposed to it anymore. In closing, I feel like there's some doable stuff here. This definitely could fit in a few different campaign settings. That wild magic would be okay, especially your favorite Dark Sun.
Yes.
You would be the scariest thing on the out there, because you're channeling arcane wild magic. Definitely in Ravnica, I can see this fitting. Faroon easily will fit.
Yeah.
Eberron.
I could see it being I could see it being somebody's failed experiment.
There's some niches there that it would fit and work in. It's just not as... I don't see it being as prevalent, because magic in Eberron is very controlled in a way. People have really figured it out. There are some random stuff happening, but
what if you were the character who you fell off a lightning rail and you fell through that lightning current, and that was what activated your wild magic?
Yeah, well, they're gonna come find you and use you as an experiment.
But anyways, those are our thoughts about the wild magic barbarian.
So, if you guys liked it, leave a like, comment.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Little red button.
And even hit that bell on the bottom. They'll let you know when we drop some new videos. That'd be great. If you guys come up with some other ideas, just please let us know in the comments. Maybe we can get to them. Have a little discussion. So yeah, keep rolling some random dice.
It works. Keep having fun with your friends out there, guys. Take care.
Later.